In the previous video, we installed Python, Visual Studio Code, and write our very first program. Now it's time to understand the integrated terminal and virtual environment, and also the interactive Python. Okay. Now let me teach about integrated terminal. Actually, we yesterday run by clicking the play button, right? Actually, we can run in another way also. Actually, the terminal is simply a place where we can type commands and communicate directly with our computer. Okay, instead of opening the command prompt, I mean CMD or PowerShell terminal separately, VS Code gives us a built-in terminal. That's why it's called integrated terminal. Okay, everything happens inside one application. Okay, now there are multiple ways to open it. I mean the terminal. There are multiple ways to open the terminal. Okay, you can click terminal, new terminal from top menu, but there is a very simple method, ctrl plus dash on Windows and Linux. For Mac OS you can click command plus dash. Okay, for knowing these kind of shortcuts, I have given a link in description about VS Studio Code shortcuts. Okay, once you open it, you will see a command line waiting for your instruction. Okay, now one of the first command you will using is checking your Python version. You can type python dash dash version. It will show the version that you have downloaded. Okay, now if you write python, then the file name .py. Here the Python tells the computer to start Python. Okay, and hello.py is the program that we want to execute. Okay, the output will immediately appear in the terminal, as we can see here, hello world. Okay, the play button simply saves you from typing the command yourself. Sometimes your terminal become cluttered with old output. You can clear it using CLS in Windows. As I am using Windows, I am typing CLS. On Mac OS or Linux you can type clear, which won't work here now. Okay, this gives you a clear terminal again. So now let's do another experiment with Python. Now let me open the website that I created, I mean the course handbook. You also can see it. Actually, I recommend everybody to see that, to follow this course effectively. You can see in our website the first program that we already finished and the clear CLS that we finished. Let me explain about virtual environment. Actually, when you install Python on your computer, it gets installed in one location, which is called system Python. Okay, every Python program on your computer can use this installation. For example, actually I have more than one Python version, but you maybe have only one. The important thing is to remember is this: there is only one system Python installation that all projects are. Okay, at first this sounds perfectly fine for you, but once you start building multiple projects, a multiple problem actually appears. Imagine you are working on two projects. Project A was created 6 months ago. It uses an older version of library called requests. Okay, now you start your Python project B. I mean the project B, another project. This project needs a newest version of the same library, so you update it. Then Python B works perfectly because you have updated it. But when you go back to project A, suddenly it stops working because both projects were sharing the same Python installation. Updating one Python changed the libraries of the other project as well. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Both the project A and B are using the same Python installation. If you update one, means others will also change. So one may not be work one actually will not be work properly. Okay, it will be stop working. This is one of the most common problems every beginners face. So how do professional developers solve it? That's what we are going to see now. You just follow our course handbook and along with this video. Okay, a virtual environment is simply a private Python environment created for one specific project. Okay, instead of every project sharing the same libraries, each project gets its own copy. Every project gets its own isolated Python setup. If you download if you have the more Python version, or for the specific project you need this version, means you can create the virtual environment. So it is its own packages, its own environment, okay, its own version. Nothing interferes with another project. That's why professional developers follow one simple rule: one project is equal to one virtual environment. Okay, if you build 10 Python project, you will probably have 10 different virtual environment. Okay, now let's create virtual environment. Okay, as you can see in our course book, the easiest method is to using Visual Studio Code. Just press Ctrl plus Control plus Shift plus P on Windows. If you are using Mac OS, Command plus Shift plus P. Okay, this opens command palette. Now type Python create environment, just like as I am typing. Then press enter, choose venv, okay, virtual environment. Then you select your installed Python version. VS Code will now create a virtual environment for your project. After a few seconds, you will notice a folder called .when, as you can see here. Inside your project, VS Code also automatically select this environment as your Python interpreter. Okay, now let's understand this .when folder. Inside this .when folder, you will find a private Python interpreter, a private version of pip, a folder where all your projects, the project packages will be installed, activation files that tells your computer to use this environment. The .when simply means it's a item folder on some operating system. Okay, now let's activate this virtual environment. When VS Code recognize your virtual environment, open a new terminal. If everything is working correctly, you will see something like this: parenthesis inside .when, or the beginning of the terminal. The small text is very important. It tells you that you are no longer using the global Python installation. Now you are using the inside your own isolated environment. Okay, whenever you install the package, it will be installed only inside this project. Other project remains completely untouched. Okay, now let's verify this work. In terminal, type python dash dash version. On Windows, you can also type, or Python on Mac OS or Linux, which Python. If the displayed path points to your .when folder, everything is configured correctly. And instead of virtual environment, there is another thing like Anaconda. Okay, Anaconda is another way of managing Python environment, especially in data science. However, for this specific course, we will use Python's built-in virtual environment. It's actually easy, simple, fast, and used by professional Python developer across many real-world projects. As we are going to see data science in upcoming lectures, we will start learning about Anaconda. Okay.